Welcome to VIP Auto, and today we enter the world of the 2026 Rolls-Royce Phantom Long, the car that turns motion into theater. Parked beneath bright white LEDs in this modern executive showroom, its Obsidian Black Metallic surface looks like a mirror poured over sculpture. Every crease, every arc of chrome, every silent reflection seems choreographed. This is the longest, quietest, most complete interpretation of effortless travel Rolls-Royce has ever produced. Let's start with the face. The Parthenon grille, tall and polished like architecture, now carries delicate LED illumination between the veins. The new laser-cut daytime signatures in the headlamps resemble fine jewelry, smaller, crisper, more confident. The bumper below is smoother. The vertical forms are replaced with a horizontal calm that lets the car's width breathe. At a glance, it's recognizably Phantom, yet under these showroom lights, it looks almost sculpted by silence itself. Before we step further, we have to pause for heritage, because this car's calm confidence didn't appear overnight. The lineage stretches back to 1907, to the 4050 horsepower Silver Ghost, a car so silent and durable it was called the best car in the world. That spirit never left. Through the pre-war Phantoms that carried kings, through the post-war grandeur of Phantom 5 limousines, through the rebirth under BMW's stewardship in 2003, each generation refined the same singular idea. Travel should remove effort, not demand it. The 2026 Phantom Long stands at the summit of that century-long pursuit, blending handcraft with sensor-driven intelligence in a way that feels less like technology and more like etiquette. Walk around it slowly and the sense of scale takes over. The extended wheelbase proportions stretch the car nearly 19 feet, yet the stance stays balanced. Front wheels pushed forward, rear doors longer, roofline almost level. Under the gloss, you see precision. Laser-welded aluminum, continuous bead seams, panels measured to sub-millimeter alignment. On the Obsidian paint, a single pinstripe in Arctic white runs perfectly straight from Spirit of Ecstasy to tail, hand-drawn with a squirrel hair brush. This is not a gesture of nostalgia. It's proof that perfection here is still human. Push the polished button and the coach doors open wide. Air whooshes softly, as if the cabin exhaled. The door's inner skin is sculpted in two tones of black and ivory leather, separated by thin metal piping. You step onto thick lambswool carpet, and the door closes itself with hydraulic grace. The Spirit of Ecstasy retracts, bowing into the bonnet, and the cabin seals shut with a faint vacuum sigh. The world outside ceases to exist. From the driver's seat, the gallery stretches across the dashboard, a single sheet of glass behind which sits bespoke artwork. In this build, a minimalist brushed steel skyline of London illuminated by fiber optics. The digital instrument display glows with restrained typography, no garish color, no distraction. Climate vents are solid metal rotaries with precise clicks. Even the stalks feel milled, not molded. It's luxury that hides in touch and tone, not in shouting. Press the start button and the 6.75-liter twin-turbo V12 stirs with a whisper. There is no starter growl, no vibration, just a faint shift in air pressure, a signal on the needles, and then silence. Rolls-Royce claims 563 horsepower, but that number means little. The car isn't about speed, it's about authority. Throttle travel is long and soft. Torque arrives like gravity. The satellite-aided transmission reads GPS data ahead, pre-selecting gears for corners you haven't yet reached. The effect is surreal. Acceleration without motion drama, momentum without noise. Out on the boulevard, the suspension hovers. Cameras ahead scan the pavement and tell the dampers what's coming. Potholes, expansion joints, even paint ridges. So the car pre-relaxes its muscles before impact. You feel the road only as texture, never as shock. The steering is fingertip light yet perfectly centered. Rear-wheel steering rotates the long wheelbase into tighter arcs, turning mall driveways into generous boulevards. The brakes are progressive, tuned for the kind of deceleration that won't spill champagne. Back inside the showroom, we open the rear lounge. This is where the Long earns its title. Each rear door swings backward, its hinge at the C-pillar, exposing an aperture like a private lounge entrance. Inside, 2 individual armchairs await, trimmed in contrasting ivory hide with cross-banded piping. Each has massage, heating, cooling, and adjustable calf support that actually reaches your legs rather than leaving them hovering. Between them, a center console hides crystal tumblers, a chilled compartment, and discrete wireless chargers. Push a chrome tab, and the picnic tables glide out in slow motion, veneered in gray-stained ash that glows faintly under the ambient lighting. The Starlight headliner sparkles above, 1,500 fiber optic points, creating constellations customized to the owner's birth date. For demonstration, this Phantom shows the night sky over Goodwood on the day Rolls-Royce unveiled its first all-aluminum architecture. Small shooting stars trace across the canopy every minute. It's theater disguised as craftsmanship. As we settle into the rear seat, the difference between transportation and occasion becomes obvious. You don't climb into a Phantom, you arrive inside it. The smell of leather, the weight of the door, the muted click of chrome vent adjusters, everything carries intent. Even sound is curated. The tires use foam linings to absorb resonance. The glass is double laminated, and every cavity of the body structure is filled with acoustic foam. When the car moves, the loudest sound is the air through the vents. Let's talk numbers because silence costs engineering. More than 220 pounds of acoustic insulation, 300 feet of ceiling material, and specially balanced drive shafts eliminate vibration at source. At 60 miles per hour, cabin noise sits below 60 decibels, quieter than many living rooms. Engineers actually recorded drivers complaining the Phantom felt too silent because it removed all sense of speed. The solution was to add back a subtle low-frequency hum from the drivetrain so the human ear could orient itself. That's Rolls-Royce humor. Adding noise because perfection was unsettling. Mid-script engagement time. If you could specify your own gallery artwork, what would it be? A skyline, a piece of family art, or something abstract? Comment below your thoughts. From behind the wheel, the Phantom surprises. Despite size, it feels precise. Rear steer pivots it around bends, and the chassis' aluminum structure keeps roll minimal. The 8-speed gearbox never hunts. It simply interprets your intent. You steer with fingertips, and the car glides as if magnetically aligned to the horizon. Power is always waiting, never eager. 0 to 60 in under 5.2 seconds. But the experience is more about momentum that never ends than acceleration that startles. Technology hides behind formality. A new infotainment core, shared loosely with Spectre's Spirit OS, operates the displays with instant smoothness. The 360-degree view merges LiDAR-assisted outlines for perfect parking alignment. Night vision projects pedestrians onto the head-up display in amber outlines. Adaptive cruise and lane centering adjust speed with unbroken grace, keeping the car steady through city traffic without jerks or protests. Everything is tuned for calm dignity. Yet it's the small touches that make this 2026 model a step beyond its predecessor. The Spirit of Ecstasy now lowers flush in 1.5 seconds, almost half the time it took before. The grille's illumination is softer, matched to headlamp brightness for visual continuity. The brightwork uses a new anti-tarnish chrome developed to resist coastal humidity. Even the umbrella compartment seals more tightly to drain water faster. Each refinement might sound minor, but together, they turn the Phantom from artifact to living craft. Back in the light, the Phantom's presence feels gravitational. People walk slower around it, voices fall a little. There's an instinctive understanding that this isn't merely a car, it's a moving environment shaped by intent and discipline. Each closing seam, each polished reflection tells you that time costs more here than anywhere else. From the rear lounge, the world becomes theater viewed through laminated glass. The side windows are thicker, double-sealed, and tinted with just enough bronze to soften daylight. As the car rolls away, the reflections from the showroom ceiling stretch down its long flank like liquid. The V12's torque whispers forward. Even outside the car, you can barely hear it leaving. Every Phantom is a dialogue between engineering and craft. The steel skeleton that once defined luxury sedans is gone, replaced by Rolls-Royce's architecture of luxury, an all-aluminum space frame stiff enough to allow extraordinary quiet. The 2026 update hides structural reinforcements near the bulkheads, raising torsional rigidity by nearly 10% while shaving a few kilograms thanks to new casting methods. These gains don't chase lap times. They protect the stillness that defines the brand. Underneath, active anti-roll bars and self-leveling air springs work in conversation. The system scans 100 meters ahead, reading the surface through stereo cameras, then primes the dampers and roll actuators before the wheels ever touch the imperfection. In corners, the car leans fractionally into the bend, reducing lateral movement for passengers who might be reading or taking a call. Even the driveline mounts float on hydraulic bushings that tune out vibration below the threshold of perception. This isn't engineering for numbers, it's engineering for feelings. Back on the highway, you realize the Phantom doesn't accelerate. It accumulates velocity. The horizon simply approaches at the pace you decide. At 80 miles per hour, the V12 spins below 2,000 revolutions per minute, a sound so low it feels like air conditioning rather than combustion. Press deeper, and the car glides forward on a continuous wave of torque. No gear changes felt, no stress transmitted. The sensation is so smooth that passengers often ask if it's electric. It isn't, but it's what electric cars aspire to feel like. Modernization hides everywhere. The cabin electronics have been rewritten atop a new high-speed fiber network that links displays, sound, and climate without lag. Wireless phone mirroring now integrates into the native interface, rather than overlaying it. Voice commands speak in calm tones that match the brand. You can ask for Starlight brightness or rear seat temperature as naturally as requesting directions. The result is high technology rendered invisible. Nothing distracts from the calm. Rolls-Royce quietly improved sustainability as well. Paint processes now recycle solvents, leather is sourced from carbon-neutral farms, and trim veneers come from certified forests. Even the aluminum body uses a higher percentage of recycled billet. It's luxury-aware of its footprint, but too discreet to announce it. Every tactile point carries the same philosophy. The metal door handles weigh exactly 330 grams because engineers found that mass produced the perfect sense of authority when pulled. The armrests hide micro-heaters, so your fingertips never meet a cold surface on winter mornings. The rear picnic tables now deploy in 5 seconds instead of 7, a trivial change that nonetheless feels like progress when you experience it. The umbrellas drain faster. The coach door button travel was reduced by a millimeter to make the closing motion more intuitive. Thousands of decisions like this lie beneath the calm surface. Through the long glass roof, daylight paints the interior like a gallery. The Starlight headliner twinkles even under sunlight, its fiber optic tips subtly refracting the ambient glow. When night falls, it becomes its own constellation. The stars brighten or dim with cabin mood lighting. And when you select Evening Voyage, they pulse gently with the rhythm of the music. There's no obvious showmanship, just a quiet spectacle that feels deeply personal. Driving through the city at dusk, reflections of passing lights ripple across the black paint, turning the car into a moving mirror. Pedestrians glance up from their phones. They always do. The Phantom doesn't need to accelerate hard or make noise to command attention. It simply exists with intent. In rear traffic, the vertical tail lamps form slender red pillars framing the stainless trim, subtle but unmistakable. The Spirit of Ecstasy glows softly ahead, a small sculpture leading silence through chaos. Practicality remains more than symbolism. The luggage compartment opens electrically, revealing a flat floor lined in brushed stainless. Beneath it, compartments store tools wrapped in leather sleeves. The closing motion is power-assisted, shutting with a muted sigh that feels more polite than mechanical. Owners often say they've never actually heard their Phantom's doors slam. That's by design. Safety systems evolve quietly, too. The adaptive cruise module now integrates with navigation, slowing for curves before the driver needs to react. Lane centering no longer tugs. It simply leans pressure into your hands so gently that you follow naturally. The head-up display renders data at twice the previous frame rate, floating digits in the lower windshield that feel etched into the glass. And if the car senses a likely impact from behind, it automatically tightens the seatbelts and activates ambient light to prepare the eyes. It's all calm, never dramatic. Maintenance becomes almost ceremonial. Service intervals stretch beyond 12,000 miles. Technicians connect the car via secure network to Goodwood for diagnostic guidance. Even updates to the infotainment arrive overnight while the Phantom sleeps in its garage. The owner need do nothing but wake to perfection. The Bespoke program remains the soul of the brand. For 2026, artisans at Goodwood introduced new veneer treatments: gray-stained ash, obsidian macassar, and a mirror-polished birch that seems liquid under clear coat. Clients can request custom constellations, embroidered family crests, or even microscopic marquetry patterns on the door caps. Rolls-Royce says the only limitation is legality. If it's safe, they'll attempt it. In an era of algorithmic sameness, that willingness to personalize by human hands is luxury's truest definition. Pricing? There is no list, only starting points. Expect figures well into the mid-$600,000 range before options, and bespoke commissions frequently double that. Yet every owner understands the value: time, calm, permanence. These cars outlast design trends. They become heirlooms, quietly gathering stories rather than mileage. On the open road, the Phantom Long erases distance. The horizon drifts closer. Scenery blurs softly. Passengers sink deeper into silence. The air suspension breathes. The V12 hums beneath awareness, and the world outside stays politely muted. It's not about isolation. It's about serenity. When you return to the city and glide back into this white-lit showroom, the reflections of glass and marble slide down the black paint once more. Parked still, the car looks as alive as when moving. The Spirit of Ecstasy bows, the coach doors ease open, lamb's wool meets leather soles. For a moment you forget traffic, schedules, deadlines, because inside this car time slows to the pace of luxury itself. Bottom line, the 2026 Rolls-Royce Phantom Long is more than transport. It's craftsmanship you inhabit, engineering you feel, but never see. Heritage you can drive every day. If presence, silence, and effortlessness define your standard, this remains the ultimate expression of them all. Subscribe to VIP Auto for more cinematic, no-fluff reviews every week. Luxury isn't loud. It's felt in silence.